It's stardom!
Hello, Mrs. Kelly.
Well, Miss Stevenson. What brings you down here?
I'm here for the Social Services Agency. We're investigating a police incident involving a young man in your ward, Louisa Swenson.
Oh, that. It was nothing, really. It was hardly what I'd call an incident.
Well, the police department would.
It was all a misunderstanding. I didn't take it seriously.
No? Well, you may not have, but let me assure you, our agency certainly did. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Well, to tell you the truth, it was all my fault.
Yours?
Oh, yes, the kids really didn't do anything wrong. I got a little worried when I didn't hear from Lou, so I called the police.
Mrs. Kelly, parents who are a little worried don't call the police.
I overreacted.
I think there's more to it than that.
Well, as you know, teenagers get a little rambunctious from time to time. It's natural. I don't think it's anything that I would call wrong.
Well, the department would. Frankly, I'm surprised at your attitude.
Well, I know Lou. She's a good kid.
She's underage. She was missing all night. And she was found the next morning in the company of a boy who has a police record. They were borrowing someone else's room at the time, to put it charitably. None of that strikes you as wrong?
You're making it sound much worse than it is.
It's bad enough without any help from me.
What Lou and Blackie did was all a part of growing up. Many teenagers, most teenagers, go through it one time or another.
So you'd say you have the whole situation under control?
Yes, I always did. There's really no problem here.
And Lou is happy?
Oh, yes. Of course she is. Why shouldn't she be? Here she is now. Lou, could you come here for a minute?
I'm busy.
There's someone I'd like you to say hello to.
They're a friend of yours. I don't want to meet them.
Lou.
Leave me alone.
I don't know what to say. She isn't usually like this. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll just find out. Alone?
Cut cooking time in half. Simple enough for a child to operate. And he's a computer genius.
Well, tell me, how long have you known Blackie Parrish?
Oh, ever since I've been in Port Charles. He's my best friend.
How long have you two been serious about each other?
You mean going together?
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know, actually. It sort of stuck up on us, you know. It took a while. But it's always nice when these things develop slowly, don't you think?
I suppose so.
Well, they last longer that way. Now, it seems like Blackie and I have known each other all our lives. It means the world to me.
I can see that. How does he feel about you?
He loves me.
And what does Mrs. Kelly think of Blackie? Does she approve of you two seeing each other?
Oh, well, I really don't know what Rose thinks anymore, except that she obviously hates me.
What makes you say that?
Well, this whole mess with the police and everything was all her fault. I was so embarrassed. Blackie and I didn't do anything. She just wanted to hassle me, that's all. If she had her way, I wouldn't have any friends.
But I thought you liked Mrs. Kelly. From all indications, you were getting along very well here.
Yeah, I thought so, too. Boy, was I wrong.
What happened?
Well, I don't know. It's like I'm a prisoner here now. She treats me like a child. The sooner I get out of here, the better.
Excuse me. Lou really should be getting to school now.
What is the point? The day's already shot.
Well, you just missed your morning classes. There's no reason why you can't make your afternoon classes.
Oh, what do you care?
I care very much, and you know it. Now run upstairs and get your books together for school.
Mrs. Kelly, there's no question that the girl is extremely unhappy here.
I think you just caught her on a bad day.
Oh, I don't think so. With Louise's record of being a runaway, I think we're just tempting fate trying to keep her in a hostile environment.
Hostile here? That's ridiculous.
Not as far as Louise is concerned.
What are you saying?
I'm afraid we have an untenable situation here.
Meaning what? Are you going to take her away from me?
Oh, well, that's not up to me. The department decides that. I do have to file a report, however.
With your recommendation.
Under the circumstances, I don't think we have much choice. Louisa simply has to be placed in more sympathetic surroundings. I'm sorry. Good day.
Holly!
Hell, it certainly took you long enough. You must have a lot of stuff to take to school. Is all that books?
None of your business.
Lou, what's wrong with you? Why are you behaving like this? I guess the social worker was right. You're obviously not happy with me.
You can say that again.
Why? What happened? I mean, surely you're not still upset that I called the police about you and Blackie.
Among other things.
Do you want to talk about it?
Don't you think it's a little too late for talking, Rose?
Well, I certainly hope you have someplace to go.
What makes you say that?
Hmm? From the way the social worker was talking this morning, they're going to take you away from me.
Good.
If you're trying to hurt me, you're succeeding.
I am tired of being a prisoner.
Being grounded for 2 days hardly constitutes a life sentence.
The sooner I get out of here, the better.
What makes you think it's going to be any easier for you in the next foster home?
Who says I'm going to any foster home?
Oh, you know something that the Department of Social Services doesn't?
I have heard of cases where minors are declared legally independent as long as they've got somewhere to go and someone to live with.
What are you going to do for money? Have you got a job? Or are you planning on finding an apartment where the rent is free? Those are kind of scarce.
We will get by.
We?
Blackie and I.
Does he know that?
He'll help me. We'll live together. He'll know what to do.
Oh, Lou.
You'll see. It'll be perfect.
Blackie's just a kid, too.
What do you mean, too? We are not kids. We can take care of ourselves.
Will you please just come down to earth for 1 minute? If you would stop and think, you'd realize how ludicrous this whole scheme of yours is.
Listening to you.
Blackie is not about to drop out of college to support you, and how do you ever expect to make anything out of yourself if you leave high school? You'd be throwing your life away.
Well, it is my life, and I will do whatever I want with it.
Lou, will you please listen to reason?
Blackie and I will manage. As long as we're together, we can do anything.
What I'm trying to say is that I'm sorry. I knew you were upset. You needed a shoulder, and I gave you logic. I should have just let you calm down. It won't happen again, Rose. Rose?
What?
If I'm going to be groveling for forgiveness, the least you can do is listen to me.
I'm sorry. It's been a bad day.
What now?
The social worker paid us a little visit this morning. Apparently, she read over the police report on Lou and Blackie.
Yeah, they keep in close touch with authorities for very good reason.
I thought I had her convinced it was all a misunderstanding, but then she talked to Lou. Well, Lou must have depicted me as some sort of sadistic prison warden or something, because as a result, the social worker left here preparing to recommend that Lou be transferred to another foster home.
Oh, no.
That's the bad news. The good news is Lou won't be here when they come to get her.
Why not?
She's going to live with Blackie.
Does Rick and Leslie know about this?
She and Blackie are going to get an apartment together. He doesn't know about it yet.
How did all this come about?
You got me.
Well, you really must have done something to set her off.
I made the phone call.
To the police.
Mm-hmm. As near as I can tell, that was the last straw. Jake, for the life of me, I can't figure out how to get through to that girl. She won't listen to reason. She's got her mind made up, and there's not a thing I can do to change it.
How does she plan to pull this off?
Lord knows. For heaven's sake, she's underage. She's got no job. She's in love with a college boy who lives at home, and she thinks that the Department of Social Services is just going to let her waltz off on her own.
Highly unlikely.
Of course it is. They're going to throw in another foster home so fast it's going to make her head spin. They're going to take her away from me, Jake, and there's not a thing I can do about it. And the worst part is, Lou doesn't want me to do anything about it.
Don't be too sure.
What do you mean?
Well, Lou is a very headstrong girl, yes, but let's just wait and see what happens.
No. I waited and saw it once before. Remember? No, I'm not going to do that. Not this time. I'm not going to sit back and watch her just ruin her life.
Don't you think you're going a little off the deep end
Well,
here?
if I am, I'm going in after Lou.
Look, what's happened has happened.
You're a real comfort.
I'm just trying to say that it's not going to do anybody any good if you're just as hysterical as Lou.
There you go again.
What?
Giving me that damn logic when what I need is help. You don't understand it all, do you?
I'm trying.
Lou needs me. For the first time in my life, I know that I can help someone, really help them. I may be the only one who can if she would just let me. But I don't know the first thing to do to go about doing it. I just don't know what I'm going to do,
Just
Jake.
keep at it. She'll come through.
When? The damage has already been done. Once that social worker files her report, Lou is as good as gone.
Well, maybe it's all for the best.
What?
I mean, under the circumstances.
Under the circumstances, what?
Oh, hell, I'm not doing very much good, am I?
Not so far.
Well, maybe I should just leave before I make it worse.
Maybe you'd better.
Guys, if we could pull this off. What does she want from me?